Shalom, shalom. Giving all praises to my heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh by Yeshem, Yahweh Shai, by Yeshem Kaharidash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders everywhere, and peace and many salutations to y'all down this tooling in this truth. Now, I wanted to do a sit down on Venezuela, going to what we know. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of information that's going out now about Venezuela. And you know, it's uh, it's easy to come up with conclusions, that's not factual based. But when we teach and when we say certain things, we want to be educated on, why certain things happen or happening. In particular, why there's so many people from Venezuela coming here to the U.S. And the reason why is, in a nutshell, uh, the Venezuelan government has been very unstable in the last year because of various sanctions that the U.S. has placed on it. And also, the U.S. is funding various coups to take down um, the president of Venezuela, what's it, Moridro, and in doing so has caused a lot of destabilization in that region, and food shortages and things of that nature, inducing people to flee into neighboring countries like Brazil, and ironically like the US. Now, them getting here to the US, it could be a way in which America is getting more um, cheap labor because here, what I noticed, and other others noticed here in the U.S., in Texas, in particular, there's a huge population of Venezuelan migrants here, which are Asher. They are a part of the northern tribe. And these guys are getting jobs and things of that nature. And the reason why is, you have a huge population of men that are opting out of the that are opting out of the market force. These are body, well-bodied young, relatively young men. They're saying, what? I'm not, going to engage in this workforce anymore because it's it's meaningless. It doesn't mean it. It's a rat race. You go to work, you come home, to somebody that's ungrateful or just no one at all. So it's just some loneliness these young males have. you know, Nobody's able to say, nobody's able to purchase anything. So a lot of people are just opting out of the economy, the job force. Well, the U.S. needs people to fill these various um, jobs. Income of influx of of immigrants in order to do so, in order to fill these warehouse jobs, these fast food jobs, the jobs that people don't want. Okay, that's another incentive. And also what we look, look at what we've been seeing uh, in the Midwest, in Chicago, and also in Colorado, which is more west. That's not necessarily Midwest. You've been seeing these various gangs, just appear out of nowhere. Venezuelan gangs appear out of nowhere and cause destabilization So this could very well be this could very well be, a way in which, you know, this place is shut down for a emergency. We don't have the election in so many ways, but the reason why they're allowing these gangs in, don't really know the incentives. I'm not going to speak on that, but I just want to paint a picture of why so many Venezuelans are, you know, uh, migrating here, from my homeland, because it's a substantial amount of people that have been displaced from Venezuela. So this is according to UNRefugees.org, and it goes down. It says, why are Venezuelans fleeing? An article goes into how this article is Venezuela crisis explained. Let me start from the top. It says Venezuela is a country that has traditionally been a generous host to refugees, but it is now facing one of the largest displacement crises in the world. Rapid violence, inflation, gang warfare, soaring crime rates, and shortage of of food, medicine, and essential services are forcing millions to flee. Nearly 8 million Venezuelans are displaced globally, with the majority, more than 6.5 million, currently residing in Latin America and Colombia. This is the largest forced displacement crisis ever in Latin America. Okay, so what's going on in Venezuela is something big. Okay, it's something that's pretty big, and America again had his hand in it. It says people are fleeing Venezuela in an attempt to escape widespread violence and poverty, safety concerns, hunger, high high inflation after an economic collapse have left millions extremely vulnerable. Since the crisis began, nearly 8 million Venezuelans have been forced to flee from their homes in search of safety. Okay, so why is there such economic uncertainty in Venezuela? All right, you have to ask yourself, why is it happening? I don't want to get ahead of myself. It says, where are Venezuelans fleeing to? The majority of Venezuelans, more than 6.5 million, are fleeing to countries across Latin America and the Caribbean. Most Venezuelans are finding refuge nearby in Colombia, Peru, and Brazil, with Colombia hosting the largest number of Venezuelan refugees and migrants. Nearly 3 million Venezuelans have fled to Colombia, where they have more opportunity to regularize there and stay and contribute to the economy. Okay, and that's really all I need on that. So let's go to another article that I have. This is according to Wikipedia, and this article here says the United States involvement in regime change in Latin America. It says the participation of the United States in regime change in Latin America involved U.S. backed coup d'etats. What is a coup d'etat? Coup d'etat, or simply coup, is typically an illegal and overt attempt by a military organization or other government elites to unseat an incumbent leadership. A self coup is when a leader, having come to power through legal means, tries to stay in power through legal means. So you have the American government funding various coups in Latin America, in a contemporary, in the contemporary example of this, I should say, is Venezuela. Okay, all right. America is responsible for destabilizing this country, man. Okay, it says back to what was at. It says U.S. backed coup d'états, which were aimed at replacing left wing leaders with right wing leaders, military juntas, and authoritarian regimes. Intervention of intervention of an economic and military uh, variety was prevalent during the Cold War, although originally in line with the Truman Doctrine of containment. United States involved in regime change increased from the drafting of NSC 68, which advocates more aggressive actions against potential Soviet allies. So, boom, there you go. Um, this is why America is so involved with Venezuela. Let's see if I can pull up something in regards to the Venezuela and Russian relations. Okay, all right. Now it says Russian Venezuelan relations include cooperation between Russia and Venezuela in areas of common concern, such as their common status as oil exporters and policy towards the United States. Venezuela is Russia's most important trading and military ally in Latin America. Okay, so the Cold War never really ended. Okay, so Russia recognized Nicolas Maduro as the president of Venezuela instead of Juan Guaido. I believe I'll say that right. In the Venezuelan crisis, right? So you had, what is the Venezuelan crisis? Well, you had um, the coup d'état take place that tried to replace um, Maduro with Juan. Okay, and America was a proponent. America was a proponent of this. Okay, all right. It says the Soviet Union established diplomatic relations with Venezuela on March the 3rd, 1945. In 1952, during the dictatorship of Marcos Perez uh, Jimenez, Venezuelan security police apprehended and deported subjects suspected Russian spies, which caused bitter protests. All right, we don't need, that's all we need on that. Under Chavez area, under President Hugo Chavez, which mysteriously died, right? Venezuela enjoying warm relations with Russia. Most of this was through the sale of military equipment. From 2005, Venezuela purchased more than 4 billion worth of arms from Russia. In September 2008, Russia sent two Polev Tu-160 bombers to Venezuela to carry out training flights. So you had Venezuela purchasing um, artillery from Russia. You had them, and still is, you had them engaging in economic pacts with one another. And under the Monroe Doctrine, which states that the Western Hemisphere is under the police of America, America, of course, couldn't have that. Okay. So America decided to do what? America decided to set up a a coup, all right, in this region. All right. So let's go back down. I want to go down now. I want to go back to this right here: the United States involving in regime change in Latin America. Okay? So these, when you go down, this is just the beginning. It's an introduction. When you go down to history, it has various countries that America has basically influenced and set up coups. Coup here, and I, in Argentina, you know, uh, various military, uprising influenced by, America, Brazil, Chile, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Guatemala, Haiti. Of course, can't forget about Haiti. Nicaragua, which this was the Banana Wars. This is the one that's started, um, the influx of crack cocaine in the in the um, in the United States. The situation happened in the 1980s. Okay, uh, Panama. Now let's go down to Venezuela. Okay, it says Venezuela. It says in what do the New York Times describe as Washington's most overt attempts in decades to carry out regime change in Latin America. The administration of President Donald Trump made an attempt to regime change in an effort to remove President Nicolas Maduro. And it's so nice how they wrote it. They just tried to influence a regime change. No, they start to set up a coup. Okay, right? Uh, from office during the Venezuelan presidential crisis. All right, which is a a coup that was funded by who? By the U.S. All right, all right. It says the Congressional Research Service of the United States Congress wrote, although the Trump administration initially discussed the possibility of using military force in Venezuela, it ultimately sought to compel Maduro to leave office through diplomatic, economic, and legal pressures. Okay, and this is a beautiful thing about about Wikipedia is is the fact that they have certain references that you could go to and basically do your own research. Okay, all right. Now this is the one that's in the New York Times. Let's go to it. All right, it's for edification. I believe you got to pay for New York Times now, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, you got to pay. But yeah, just for edification, and bros wanted to ever do research. Wikipedia has great references that you could go to. Okay, but back to it. You had the U.S. funding this coup, okay, and actually training these various uh, merchants, or small militias, to carry out this plan, but it did not work. Maduro is still in office, but this this particular country has been pulverized by various sanctions that the U.S. has imposed on it, man. You know, again, destabilizing the government, causing uh, the economy to worsen, violence is increasing, okay, causing the displacement of millions of people, man. You can blame it on the U.S. Okay, all right. So the U.S. has a lot to pay for, and the Most High is gonna pay them back. All right. I'm gonna read this. Get another article. Then we'll get to the scriptures. We'll close out. This is the Congressional Research Service of the United States Congress wrote, although the Trump administration initially discussed the possibility of using military force in Venezuela, it ultimately sought to compel Maduro to leave office through diplomatic, economic, and legal pressure. According to Mark Becker, a Latin American history professor of Truman State University, claim of the presidency by Juan Guaido was part of a U.S.-backed maximum pressure campaign for regime change that empowered an extremist faction of the country's opposition while systematically destroying the economy with sanctions. All right. So America again was trying to set up a coup d'etat, and in doing so, destroyed the damn government of Venezuela. Man, wicked as all get out. And now, fast forward, people wonder why. Well, damn, why there's so many Venezuelans here? Well, that's because the American government had their hands in it to destroy this place. Man. Economic, agaphic, agaphic, Demarius made similar statements in her book Backfire: How Sanctions Reshaped the World Against U.S. Interests, saying that the United States held the belief that regime change was attainable and that sanctions were implemented against Venezuela to hasten the establishment of Guaido. Jacobin wrote that the corporate friendly Guaido movement was meant to take power after a coup supported by the United States removed President Maduro from office. Uh, 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 let me see. Almada Beltran Tran. I'm probably saying it wrong, but whatever. Said that the Trump administration participated in an open campaign to overthrow Maduro with a goal to establish American control over oil and to reestablish Venezuela's traditional elite class. Okay, since U.S. Officials met with members of the National Bolivian Armed Force of Venezuela from 2017 to 2018 to discuss coup plans, though discussions ceased after information leaked and some of the plotters were arrested uh, arrested prior to their participation actions during the 2008 Venezuelan presidential election. May 2018, president presidential election in Venezuela was boycotted by the opposition of Maduro, and Maduro won amid low turnout. The United States and other nations refused to recognize the elections, saying they were fraudulent. Right? So, so now we read this, and I wanted to go more into detail of the situation of the coup. Now, this is according to AP News. It says uh, U.S. arrests a former Green Beret over the failed 2020 raid into Venezuela to remove Maduro. And the Green Beret, that's like special force of the army. It says a former U.S. Green Beret who in 2020 organized a failed cross-border raid of Venezuelan army deserters to remove President Nicolas Maduro has been arrested in the United States on federal arms smuggling charges. A federal indictment unsealed this week in Tampa, Florida, accused Jordan Guad, Guadu and a Venezuelan partner, Yeski Alvarez, of violating U.S. armed control laws when they allegedly assembled and sent to Colombia AR-style weapons, ammunition, silencers, night vision goggles, and other defense equipment requiring a U.S. export license. Guadu, 48, also was charged with conspiracy smuggling goods from the United States and unlawful possession of machine guns, among 14 counts. Guadu appealed in federal court following his Tuesday arrest in Manhattan, but it is not clear a day after whether he would be released from custody pending trial. He was being held at a federal detention center in Brooklyn. Guador, a three-time Bronze Star recipient for braving Iraq and Afghanistan, claimed responsibility in 2020 for the amphibious raid by a ragtag group of soldiers that had trained in clandestine camps in Venezuela, neighboring Colombia. He said he and others were acting to protect Venezuela's democracy after Maduro's 2018 re-election was boycotted by the opposition and condemned as undiplomatic by the U.S. and dozens of other countries. So you had this guy here arrested supposedly by trying to attempt another coup. And as you can see, this guy is from where? He's from here, right? He's a Green Beret, okay? And these guys are, this was another failed attempt by the U.S. To topple that presidency, man. They've already toppled the government, but they still want the leader, want a certain leader in that in that seat. And the reason why is because the Russia influence. Okay, 2 days before the incursion, the Associated Press published an investigation detailing how Guador had been trying for months to raise funds for the harebrained idea from the Trump administration. Venezuela's opposition and wealthy Americans looking to invest in Venezuela's oil industry should Maduro be removed. While then, opposition leader Juan Guaido was initially enthused by the coup idea, signing an agreement with uh, Guaido to explore such an option. Little financial support arrived in the royal homes along Colombia's Caribbean coast. The house the would-be liberators suffered from a lack of food, weapons, and other supplies. So the guy, a puppet of the Trump administration, Juan Guaido, he was on board. He's like, look, let's get it going. Let's go. Let's do it. All right. But again, it didn't happen. All right, did not happen. All right, so this is yet another coup that was funded, and encouraged by the U.S. against Venezuela, man, against Nicolas Maduro. All right. So let's get to some scriptures. It says, let's go to Nahum 3:1. All right. It says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. The horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of the corpse. They stumble upon their corpse because of the multitude of the world of the whoredoms of the world favorite harlot, the mystery of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft. Behold, I am against thee, says Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame. And this is what's going on now. The military industrial complex of America is being exposed. You know what I'm saying? It's being exposed, man, for the wickedness that it it has done throughout the world. You know, destabilizing Latin America the way it has done. And, just doing research. I didn't know it was that much in debt, man. How many countries this place is destabilized, and nobody's able to come up against America because one is making its economic power and its military might. So this man is able to rule, with an iron fist, you know, and anybody who comes up against him, hey, they're taking out the way to smack with sanctions. All right, the government is destabilized. Shoot, if they really want to get rid of you, they'll set up a coup in your country, man. You know, right? Tearing people's lives apart, man, ripping their countries apart for their own economic power, right? And because the Idumeans have ruled the way in the way they have ruled, man, the Most High is against them. He's going to take them out of the way. All right. Now this is Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, because he transgresses by wine. And what's that wine? The philosophy of this place, man. Right? The philosophy of America, of Western culture, right? His policies, economic policies, right? He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires hell, and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And it's really speaking now because what economy, well, I should say currency, is the reserve currency of the world. Shoot, the American dollar. And with that strength, what he's able to do, he's able to put sanctions on people, man. He's able to dictate contracts. He's able to uh, influence certain leaders. You know, some of these leaders are all wicked, especially in Africa. You know, these dictators, right? With his economic, with his military might, he's able to sell certain arms. He's able to blow people up. He's able to do all these things and control the people, right? Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him? Excuse me. and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Let's look at this word, thick clay. Because we like to bring this out often. It means abayit, which means wages of plagues, heavy debt. All right, this is how America is really able to rule with the petrodollar, the currency that's paid to the you paid to the buying and selling of oil. This is how America is able to rule. But these people are getting tired of it, and they're finding ways to circumvent the SWIFT system, and along with the the dollar. Okay, now it's still the how these people are circumventing is still profound enough, in order for uh, it to take the place of the American dollar. No, all right, BRICS will never take the place of the American dollar because it's too powerful and too many currencies are paid to the American dollar, right? But what we can see is a whole new system coming in. That whole new system is gonna be digital, right? So now what we're seeing is a fight for that new digital currency, control of that new digital currency. And all the other nations, they remember what happened, what America has done, what the beast has done. You know what I'm saying? The dragon has done. And so they're making pacts to come up against, that system, that Western system, man. Hence World War III. You know? Now, this is um, Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Who's the virgin daughter of Babylon? Esau, the Idumeans. All right. All right. O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grinding meal, uncover thy locks. Make bare the legs, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people, I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst shew them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And you have to understand something. The Venezuelans are Israelites, leader Asher. Okay? Now they're being used as a political pawn to do what? As a political pawn to cause uproars of the people. They're being demonized, right? They're being demonized, man. And as things become more and more extreme, we're gonna see more people targeting the immigrants. Targeting the immigrants. Uh, you know, more violent situations are going to occur. More of these Latins are going to be radicalized. They're going to be standing up for their people. Joining gangs and things like that. It's going to get crazy out here, man. You got to understand. Think about the MS-13. MS-13 was created by some teenagers in California, took aback, the racism that Issachar, you know, or the Mexicans was given to the El Salvadorians, man. I think I said Venezuela, but I meant El Salvadorians in that area. Okay, and it blew up to something that's that's damn near global. You know, that's all in South and Central America. You know what I'm saying? Now think about the times that we're coming into. You know, more of these Latins are going to be, uh, in particular, Venezuelans. The Asher is going to be demonized. You know, a lot of them going to receive, you know, discrimination, racism. You know what I'm saying? Violence. What's it going to do? That's going to radicalize these people. They're going to be fighting one against one another, man. And it's already really, not to mention, you got the whole situation in Colorado and things of that nature, you know, where they are already getting it on, you know, these gang members, you know. So things are going to get more and more heated. But saying all that to say, Esau Edom is using our people as pawns for something bigger. Now, this is when we have to wait and see, because honestly, I don't have enough information to say what particular reason why they're doing this. So I don't want to misquote or just inject my opinion. What I do know is, you know, in Venezuela, the U.S. has been destabilizing that region for years now, causing, you know, a displacement, one of the worst displacement problems in South America, in Latin America. Okay, all right. So the Most High sees all these things, man. What he's doing, what this man is doing, and guess what? Judgment is going to commence, man. All right, regardless of how powerful this place is. And thou said this, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thine heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore, hear now this, there thou art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. So these various enchantments that Esau even used that media to portray, you know, the Venezuelans in a negative light. Which, you know, you got some gang members. It could be they really are wicked. You know, I don't know. Um, I don't know if they are Venezuelan. I'll tell you that. Um, that'll be surprising. Um, um, all these things utilized to, you know, to demonize our people is going to come tonight, man. Right? And this place here is due for judgment. Our people are going to get judged here. And Esau Edom, you're going to get judged, man. Final judgment is going to rain down on you Edomites, which are the majority of you so-called white people. You're going to be judged by the Heavenly Father for the wickedness that you have condoned, and also for the sins of your forefathers. Isaiah 14:21. Also speaks about that in Deuteronomy. The Most High is going to visit the sins of your fathers on the third and fourth generation. We in that time, man. Okay? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else besides me. And you, that mindset of superiority is seen, you know, in Western culture. You know, Western, people who are proponents for Western culture say, hey, Western culture is, the most evolved, and it came from the most evolved people. It came from us. You know, you people should be happy. You should be happy that you were have any opportunity to be a part of us. And this is especially the mindset of a Christian, white Christian nationalist, right? Right. So that for that pride, the Most High is going to take you down, man. Verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it rises, and mischief shall fall upon thee, that thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of things that happen to this place, and the people are going to understand what's going on, man. Okay, a lot of things are going to change in the near future. I'm talking about a few months. A lot of people aren't going to be ready. And that's all by design of Yahweh by Shah. People are going to be taken by surprise, bro. Woo! And that surprise is going to be so fierce. Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of these seven angels, which had seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. That great whore is Babylon, the great many waters of the people, with whom the king of the earth had committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth had been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Just expounding on that wine, philosophy, right? All the various nations have taken on the way of the great whore, which is America, right? And Babylon the Great. And the nations are mad, right? Alluding to what Jeremiah, the 51st verse, 51st chapter, excuse me. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman set upon a scarlet colored beast, which is red, full of name of blasphemy, having 70 heads and 10 horns, which is NATO EU. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination and filthiness of her fornication. One of those abominations we know to be what? The perversion of sex, the alphabet agenda, to get my drift. Okay? So this Western culture condones abominations, things that are sorely against the scriptures. Okay? And place it as policy, place it as if it's liberating to allow people to engage in certain acts. The word abomination, there's another word that sounds just like abomination that our women are fighting for. That's that's an abomination, if you get my drift. All these things are allowed here, condoned here, and pushed throughout the four corners of the earth. And upon her head was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. That's right. So this place has been able to destroy us for a very long time, man, and win and excel, right? So people, look at this place in awe. People think, oh man, the Most High had to be done with this place. Look what they were, it was able to accomplish off the backs of you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. You dig? All right. Verse 7. And the angel said unto me, wherefore doest thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which had the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, which is Europe, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose name was not written in the book of life for the foundation of the world, when they beheld the beast that was and is not and yet is. Right. So those that are believing in the system, worshiping the image of the beast, right? Spoke about in Revelation, the 14th chapter, right? You see that mark, they're going to be destroyed. Okay, they're going to be destroyed, right? So believing in this place, in this witchcraft, is going to lead to a lot of people's destruction. All right. Verse 9, and here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, which mountains means powers, on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. The other not yet to come is what? Is America. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. Right, which is talking about how America came out of the British Empire. Okay, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. They have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast, which is NATO. In that beast, is NATO, EU, right? And they have given the power to the beast. Who's over NATO, right? America. Okay. Verse 14. They shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords, King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. So we know that there's going to be a war that's going to be going on. World War III is going to be going on. In the midst of it, Yahweh Shai will return. They're going to stop fighting one another and begin fighting Yahweh Shai. That's when Yahweh Shai is going to take them down. So all these various pacts that America has is going to come tonight. Okay. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And with these economic pacts and military pacts being made, it's prophesied that eventually, a lot of these NATO groups are going to begin hating the whore. Okay, that's going to be another way in which this place is getting taken down. All right, so don't want to go too long. There's a lot of information that was relayed. And this going back to what I read in that 15th verse there. No, actually it was the 16th verse there. I did a sit down recently how it came out that It was in fact a Ukrainian diver and Ukrainian team that was responsible for the Nord Stream pipeline explosion, which deeply affected who? Um, Germany. Okay, so that could be another way in which you know uh, the 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 drag begins to hate the whore. We know that because of this, that act, you know, well, they're not saying officially, but unofficially, we should say, Germany has cut its military aid to uh, Ukraine, but like 50%. Okay, um, so things are heating up. You know, this whole Venezuela thing is very interesting. So I just wanted to give a backdrop on the relationship of uh, Venezuela and Babylon the Great, aka America. Pray this edifying. Shalom.